for all the things that the federal government did in terms of spying on Muslims in the wake of 9/11, Michael Bloomberg oversaw the CIA moving into the New York City Police Department. They literally got a guy from the CIA who came in. He no longer then worked for the CIA because that's illegal. Came in, set up basically their own little mini intelligence unit, and he then deployed the New York Police Department to spy on Muslim student groups, on mosques, wherever Muslims were. He was sending in spies. It did not generate a single terrorist lead. Not a single terrorist lead. And here is...
That one's harder to plug into the calculator. Zero
divided by whatever they spied on people. Yet, he defends it.
Obligation to do so, and it is to protect the very things that let Yale survive.
Back to the Muslim students organizations, the most recent report said not only they were looking at public websites, but also accompanying students on whitewater rafting trips.
I have no idea. The only whitewater rafting I've done, I did with my daughter. I don't think she had a lot of information that I was interested in terms of her political views. It was a long time ago.
Pause it. Let me explain to you what's going on here. Bloomberg is making light of the fact that the New York City Police Department put spies into youth groups who would go on a whitewater rafting trip to assess whether they were terrorists. And his response is, I've been on some whitewater rafting trips with my daughter, and she had no information.
Let me guess, it would be much more interesting to hear for some Al-Qaeda kid to listen to my daughter go on and on and on.
And why are we letting Muslim people go on whitewater rafting trips in the first place?
I thought you were from the desert. Why do you want to be in the whitewater? It doesn't make any sense. They're more likely to tip over and drown. I care about their lives.
They're not called brown water rafting trips, now are they?
Those were Navy SEALs, and they were there for their safety.
That's a lot of information that I was interested in terms of her political views. It was a long time ago. I'm not sure at that time she had political views. She certainly does now.
Do you think that type of activity goes one step too far?
No. We have to keep this country safe. This is a dangerous place. But make no mistake about it. It's very cute to go and to blame everybody and say we should stay away from anything that smacks of intelligence gathering. The job of our law enforcement is to make sure that they prevent things. And you only do that by being proactive. You have to respect people's right to privacy. You have to obey the law. And
unless they're Muslim,
across this country,
and then you don't have to.
Level and city level.
Listen, just contemplate this. All right. We have federal agents who befriend Michael Bloomberg's daughter and head over to his house and travel around with her. Maybe date her. We have embedded someone in the Bloomberg family because, look, we've got to know if they're up to some criminal bad doing.
Indeed.
I mean...
Taking notes, Bernie transition team.
Exactly. Right? Just contemplate what he's suggesting here. Yeah, this is full-on pre-crime stuff.
Well, and that it's cute. That you would respect the constitutional rights and protections. The rhetoric that's like, oh, well, why don't you just give every Muslim in the city a candy bar? It's like, no, you're saying to not invasively, illegally spy on them, deploy CIA tactics on college students who do, who pray and do community events together.
It's unbelievable. Michael Bloomberg is not electable.
And by the way,
this is just tip of the iceberg.
This is just tip of the iceberg, and I think again, this is what is so frustrating about the split response to Trump. I think people are taking more seriously how dangerous it is the way he with Barr and so on, but people are still, I think, not enough people are taking seriously the strategic acumen. If Mike Bloomberg is the nominee, Donald Trump is going to run to the left of him on criminal justice issues, and he's going to destroy him. And he absolutely will get that couple of percentage points that they are looking to either stay home or flip to Trump. There's no doubt.
And with 95% approval rating for Donald Trump from Republicans, the idea that somehow Mike Bloomberg is going to bring in this whole new crowd of people in the suburbs of Wisconsin or Michigan, I think you're dreaming.
How'd that work the last time around?
Exactly.
The one person that could be even worse at holding that coalition together than Hillary Clinton. And for the money obsessed, it all goes away in a general election. You think Trump and the Republicans can't amass a war chest to go up against this guy's?
Well, Hillary had much more money than Trump in the last election.
Exactly. And Trump will have more this time.
And he's the president.
And he's the frigging president.
So what kind of earned media think he can get as president doing this stuff?
And like the Clintons also had a terrible record on racial justice, but at the same time, they built relationships with black community leaders in such a way that they were able to get many people of color to vote for them. And Bloomberg hasn't done that.
Bloomberg's doing that. I mean, Bloomberg's throwing the money around. He just has the fourth member of the Congressional Black Caucus endorse him. And I liked that Malika Jabali, I'm going to paraphrase, she was like, look, on one hand, this is obviously ridiculous. And then on the other, it speaks to, how cash starved, frankly, a fair amount of institutions are. But
maybe it's not that different than what the Clintons did.
No, it's super similar. The difference is that the Clintons had a decades-long process and had some actual political credibility. But it's incredibly similar. But
in this case, people have a real choice. Like, I feel like with the Clintons, it's like, well, what are you going to do? Vote for a Republican? At this point in the process, people have a real choice and they can vote for someone who doesn't have a horrible record on racial justice.
He's cleaning up with low information voters. I mean, that's just the reality. He's got a huge war chest, and the states where that's why you want him to debate.
That's why I want him to debate.
I mean, whatever way you do it, you just simply need to. I do think sunlight's the best disinfectant here.